Hi, Lisa. I'm so excited to have you on our podcast today. I think it's going to be fun for us to be able to get to talk and share a little bit of your journey to Peace Restored. For those who have been watching us on our podcast, you are newer to staff. You've been with us for just a couple of months, really, at this time.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited for us to sit and to be able to have a conversation today, but also just to get to just talk about your journey and share a little bit more with our audience about Peace Restored. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So when you think about learning about Peace Restored, because I know you're newer to the community and everything. So
hmm
how did you find us? How did you stumble upon us? Because, as you're learning, people are still learning about us, even though we've been
hmm
around for a few years now. And so I'm just curious, how did you find Peace Restored? Yeah.
This is kind of interesting for me because I'm sure it's very non-traditional. But I had been at my previous job. I loved the job and the people were fantastic, but
hmm
we had gone through some changes that really made my job not really necessary. And I just didn't feel
hmm
like I had much to contribute or really had a place there. So
Yeah.
I started really praying about it.
hmm
And I was asking God what to do about the situation and if I should go to something else or, what was I to be doing with my life to be
Yeah.
serving a purpose and serving Him
hmm
better than the situation I was in.
hmm
And so I had been praying for about 2 months. And around that time, my husband and I found a house here in Mooresville from Indianapolis, and we're in the process of moving. And I'm not from this area. I've lived in
hmm
Indianapolis for a long time. So I decided to go on Facebook and join some Mooresville Facebook groups to learn about the area and what it had to offer and what it was like and where to go for
hmm
things. And so in during my packing of our house to move, I got on one of the sites after being accepted to join the group, and Peace Restored's um, job opportunity for an administrative assistant popped up. It was one of
hmm
the first things to pop up. And I thought, here I am trying to move my house and pack it. And God is putting this opportunity out there for me. So I decided, why not apply?
Why not, right? It's a good time.
So before applying, I did look into the company to see
Yeah.
what it was because I hadn't heard of it before.
Right.
Most things in Mooresville at that point. So I loved what I read about
hmm
the organization and how they help women through various traumas and crisis in life.
hmm
I have my own experience with some of that, so I have a heart for the people in those situations. And so, like I said, I applied um, for the job, and here I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Even your interview was non-traditional that day. Because
Correct.
typically we go through, 'cause you remember your resume coming in and we had gone through, I think at that point we'd already interviewed multiple people. And when your resume came in, we interviewed you. Renee and I were just like, let's go ahead and do your second one. And so you had both your first and second interview both in the same day.
Right.
And so the first started up front and the second was back in the back of the office. And
Yeah.
you got to walk into the back and it was like we like to do what would you call it,
Like,
on the job
yeah, skills testing.
skills testing. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit of shock and awe, like, come on back here and we're going to see what you can do. And we did that. And one of the things I appreciated about you during that process was just how you, just like you're doing now, just your joy came out and you just
Mm,
kind of rolled with everything. And
yeah.
it was just so encouraging to watch you just step into something that was obviously uncomfortable.
Mm,
And you're just like, well, we're going to figure this
all
out.
right.
And, not only did you have to step into something uncomfortable and show us your skills live,
hmm
but then I think we had you on the TV. We were watching you
Right.
like move
Right.
your
My
mouse
every
around.
click.
No pressure, right?
Right.
But it was, so it was, because we were able to do so much so quickly, we were able to
hmm
move things along. And
Right. Yeah.
we knew pretty quickly after we interviewed you that you were going to be a perfect fit for
No.
here. And it was just, It's been fun to watch you step into that role. Like we said, you've only been here for a couple of months,
Right.
but so much has happened just in the
It
couple of months you've
has,
been
yeah,
here.
yeah. A
It's
lot
one
of
thing about
changes.
being here. Peace Restored doesn't stay static
It
very
doesn't.
much.
Right, always on the move. I
Yes.
like that.
Yeah. There's a lot going on, a lot happening. So, what would you say kind of has maybe been something that's, I don't know, surprised you when what you've learned about Peace Restored in the last couple of months?
I knew that Peace Restored provided the therapy and
Mhm.
counseling and life coaching, but I wasn't really aware of the nonprofit side of that.
Mhm.
So, in the past few months, it's been neat to learn that Peace Restored is able to remove the financial barrier for
Mhm.
clients, because that is a big hurdle
Yeah.
for a lot of people that really need to seek counseling,
Mhm.
and that prevents a lot of people from
It really
receiving
does.
it. So, um, I really appreciate that part of it, that we, as an organization, can provide it to every
Mhm.
woman who is in need.
Hi, I wanted to interrupt this episode to share a little bit with you about Peace Restored. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Peace Restored is a non for profit, and we rely on support from people just like you. Did you know that if you donate as little as $2 a month, it could provide curriculum for a woman that we provide mental health care to? Or $4 a month would help us provide mental health care for a woman just like yourself or someone that you care about. So if you would consider supporting us in our mission, please go to our website at peacerestored.net. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this episode. Yeah, it is such a need, like you said, because right now in the state that we're in, which is Indiana, the average cost of counseling is between $100 and $150 an hour.
Mm,
And
that's
that's a lot.
not
It
sustainable.
is not. And so you imagine, for most of our clients, they come twice a month. And
Right,
some people, they need to come more often than that.
right.
And if you're coming two, three, four times a month, and most people can sustain that maybe for a couple of months,
Yeah,
and you can never really get to the depth of care that you need to.
right,
And that's
right.
why we do the model that we do, so people
Yeah,
can go for as long as they need. So I love
right.
that you picked up on that pretty quick and you're
Mhm.
able to see how that's played out in some of our clients'
Yeah,
lives. And
yeah.
so, yeah, it's always fun to work with our clients because one of my things I get to do is I sit with each client, I go over their budget I go over with their finances and everything and figure out what they can pay.
Mhm.
And it's always fun when I'm going over the numbers with them and they say, "Well, I think I can do this," and I talk them down. And they're just
Yeah.
like, "This seems backwards." And I'm like,
Right.
"I know, it's okay." But it's
Yeah,
fun because then we know that they're gonna get the care they need instead of it just
exactly.
being about the numbers, about the
Right,
money and how we can charge more because we can.
right,
And not to disparage, other organizations that charge more than we do. That's not what we're
right.
saying. We just see that there's a big gap in services and we're wanna
Exactly.
stand in that place and fill that gap, and I'm
Right.
so glad that we can.
Me
And I'm glad that
too.
we're building our team so we can serve even better.
Right.
So, let's see. So when you think about as you were coming on board with us and you were, because you had to take some time to decide, like, is this the place for me? Do I
Mhm.
really want to be here?
Mhm.
Because I mean, like I said, let's face it, that interview process was a little different. It wasn't our norm either.
Yeah.
And, that might have scared some people away.
Mhm.
But you had to take some time to figure out, is this really where I'm supposed to be going? Is this where God's leading me? What
Mhm.
was it for you that you said, okay, this is the right next step for me?
It helped that I had already been praying for a couple months.
Hmm.
And then I continued to pray even after the interview. Um, it didn't hurt that Peace Restored is only 5 minutes from my house.
That probably helped a little,
Yeah.
maybe.
But I had already put my trust in God, and I just continued to pray about that
Mhm,
decision for I don't know, it was a week or two before we really finalized things. But
mhm,
I really felt like um, God couldn't have really made it any more clear to me
mhm,
to be answering what I had been praying for a couple months. Um, um, I think another contribution to the thought process and my prayer life was that I have been through my own traumas,
Mhm.
several different major traumas in my life, and so I have empathy
Mm.
for other women
Yeah.
that go through that. I've been, I want to say privileged enough to be able to
Mm.
have therapy, and on several different occasions in my life, and just recently went through about 2 years of intense therapy for one of the major traumas
Mhm.
in my life. And as cliche as this sounds, my life was changed,
Yeah.
and I just want that kind of healing for other
Mhm.
women. So
Yeah.
to be able to be a part of that, in any way possible, it's just
Mhm.
really kind of cinched the fact that I really felt like God was like answering the things that I had been praying for
Yeah.
by having this job fall, kind of what I felt
Right.
like fall into my lap.
Yeah. It was what I'm hearing you talk about is like um, one, you have that empathy and you're able to step in that space and you can really like speak to others because of your experience you've had,
Mm-hmm.
because you can see and understand what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
And that allows you to connect with their clients in a way that maybe you wouldn't be able to if you
Right.
hadn't had those experiences. But you're also able to say, man, I know the need of this.
Mm-hmm.
I know the value of being able
Mm-hmm.
to get good therapy, good care, and to really dig into your
Yes.
traumas
Yep.
because you also know the impact if you don't.
Yeah. Yep.
And so you see the value what that provides for our clients and how much we can do in the community, how much more we can do as we continue to grow.
Right.
That's one of
Yeah.
the things that gets me excited when I
Yes.
think about
Yeah.
because we've done, the history of what we've done has been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so grateful for what God's allowed us to do at this point.
Right.
But I just think towards our future and where God's taking us and
Mm-hmm.
all the doors He's opening. I'm like, man, like
Yeah.
it's humbling
Yeah.
to think about what God's allowing us to step
Mhm.
into and the people He allows us to serve and just the variety of women we get to meet.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just amazing because I can't think of I don't know, there probably are other places, but from my perspective,
Mhm.
there's not too many other places where I can work, where
Yeah.
I'd be able to interact with the amount of people
Mhm.
and the way that I get to interact with them and the different varieties and
Mhm.
just places that people come from, dynamics,
Right.
personalities
Yes. Yeah.
that we do
It's
here.
very broad.
I love that.
Me too.
Yeah, it's really, I don't know,
It's special.
it is. I don't know. And I really enjoy the women that we work with too.
Yes.
This
Yes.
is a special group of ladies in this office. It's not, I think we tried to express this when you were coming on. We talked about one of the things that we value here is just having good relationship.
Mhm.
And we try to really pour into each other. Is that something you've been able to experience since you've been here, or have you seen anything of
Yeah.
that? You know?
It's so interesting that you mentioned that because from the first time that I walked through the door for my
Hmm.
first interview, I felt seen and cared about.
Hmm.
And I'm not sure the people that were here when I arrived knew why I was here. They may
Hmm.
have. But since working here, I've seen them treat everybody that walks through the door
Hmm.
that way. So I know it wasn't just like a show for
Right.
the interviewee.
Right.
That's truly each employee has a heart of gold
Hmm.
and a caring nature for each other and the
Hmm.
clients. It
Yeah.
isn't just reserved for client
Mm-mm.
interaction. They're very good at uplifting and encouraging each other and supporting each other. It's just a really different work environment.
Hmm. I am always amazed at this team that God's put together here. It's
Mhm.
just, I just sit back and go, wow, this is amazing. Just the
Yes.
women that have come to work here. And we have had a couple of men work here too, so we don't want to leave the men out.
Yeah.
But they're I mean, just the people in general, right? It's
Yeah.
just been amazing.
Yeah.
We really haven't, it's just we come together, we're able to serve, we're able to care for each other.
Mhm.
And you've been a testament to adding to that as you've
Mhm.
come into this team. And so it's been fun to
Thank
watch how you've
you.
just melded in, right?
Yeah.
It's not like,
Yeah.
you're not an outsider, you're part of us.
Right. And I felt like that from the get-go. That's
Hmm.
what's so interesting. And the fact that we have grown in a couple
Hmm.
of staff members
Hmm.
since I started, but how how do you find so many great, wonderful, caring,
Hmm.
faith-filled people
Yeah.
to put on one team is just
Yeah.
mind-boggling to
Yeah.
me because everybody has such a caring
Yeah.
heart.
It's an amazing group.
Yeah.
It really is. And I think unless you come here and you start in or receive service with us or interact with our staff, you just don't understand that. It is,
Right.
I mean, I can't I can't say too many good things about our staff. It's
Mhm.
just they're
Right.
just such amazing
Yeah,
people.
I agree.
I'm blessed to be around them. I'm blessed to be a
Same.
part of the team.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I just I love our staff.
Yeah,
So
same here.
so when you think about, I know you've only been with us for a short period of time, but if you think about your future with Peace Restored
Mm.
and what could be, what you could be doing and how things might grow as you continue to grow with us
Mhm.
and the organization changes, what are some things that you might be excited about or maybe hopeful for in the coming future?
That's a good question. Um, I feel like I've been learning a lot every day. I feel
Mhm.
like, um, I've just been learning new skills from computer-wise to interacting with clients,
Mhm.
and I mean, obviously, my favorite part is the staff and also the clients
Yeah.
because I'm definitely a people
Mhm.
person. And like I said before, due to my experiences, I definitely have empathy. While
Mhm.
I don't have the education or the skills to provide therapy
Mhm.
for clients, I do have that empathy. And I love being able to be just a safe space for them to just be for a few
Mhm.
minutes when they come
Yeah.
in before their therapy or for a few minutes before they leave and they want to chit
Mhm.
chat. And um, I look forward to that portion growing
Yeah.
as we grow, as we can help
Mhm.
more women. I also hope, since I haven't been here very long, I'm sure that in the future I might be able to see clients who have, you know, had their peace restored and
Mhm.
come back to just
Yeah.
say hello. And I think that would be really
Mhm.
a big treat for me to
Yeah.
just meet with those women for even just a few
Mhm.
minutes.
Right. It is fun when we get to see those that circle back and go,
Yeah.
"Oh," or I run into them in public and they say
Yeah.
like, "Oh, do you remember me?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So it's fun when that
Yeah.
happens. As I was listening to you talk to, I was thinking about, man, you were talking about how, you don't really have the skills or the training to do some of the things
Well,
that
to
our
provide therapy.
therapy that our
Yeah.
therapists have, right?
Right.
But what I was thinking is one of the things I love about our staff as well is that we get together and we do trainings. And while you've
Yes.
been new, you haven't really had any of those in-depth trainings yet. And I'm
Right.
just thinking, man, that's going to be exciting as you get to
Yeah.
dig into some of that. And
Yeah.
we get to pour into you and give you some of those maybe
Yeah.
new areas that you can expand on or whatever
Mhm.
as we're continuing to grow. And but you already are so naturally gifted at meeting with the clients and just
No.
spending time with them. And I just hear it's so funny. Renee and I talk a lot about you back when we're meeting up front. We'll hear that laugh that you just,
Yeah.
we'll just be like, there's Lisa. She's just so bubbly and you fit
Yeah.
so well at the front desk and just
Oh.
meeting and just being that face when people
Yeah.
come in. It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh.
So I'm so grateful and just so happy that you said yes.
No, so am I.
Yeah, it's just been such fun to
Yeah.
have you on our team, and it's only like I feel like you've been on staff with us for months, like months and months and months,
Yeah.
like not
Yeah.
just a short period
Yeah.
of time. I feel like it's been a long time, and it's just been so I can only imagine what it's going to be like a year from now.
Right. Right. Me too.
What the relationship's going to be like and how things are going to change. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for what's to come.
Yeah. Me too. Me
Yeah.
too.